What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So for a while, I told you guys that I was going to be making a video on the new Chimera cards, and I also was saying that they were really good with branded. Now, it's not going to be like a full actual Despia deck because it's going to be a combination of two engines, right? It's going to be branded fusion with branded opening, just a couple of Alubers and Fallen of Albaz, as well as what you need to make the Chimera cards function. And of course, I will be showing you guys a lot of combos in this video, so this is going to be pretty much everything in one, so combo and deck profile. And I can only keep making these videos if you guys smash the like and subscribe button, so make sure you do. And now let's get right into combo number one. Alright, so all you need in order to put up 4 interruptions, potentially, is 1 Mirror Swords Knight. That's it, that's all. And it's really good, and you're also going to be getting yourself a follow-up for next turn. So 1 card is enough to win in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's crazy. So you're going to be normal summoning it, and essentially this is a quick effect Lone Fire Blossom. You can tribute it and special summon a monster from the deck that mentions Chimera Fusion, except itself. So every single Chimera card, so Gazelle, Baphomet, and the Coatl, they mention Chimera Fusion. Now, you're not going to be special summoning Coatl, and you're almost never going to be summoning Gazelle because Baphomet is much better. Gazelle either searches a level 4... It either searches like a monster or a Chimera Fusion, but Baphomet searches both. But it's a level 5, so obviously you're not trying to draw this card. But if you can special summon it with Mirror Swords Knight, it's going to be insane, because now we're going to be getting our Gazelle as well as the quickly spell card Chimera Fusion. We did use up our normal summon, so we can't normal summon that Gazelle, unfortunately, because it would search a level 5 fiend monster. But we're going to be fusing into Chimera, the King of Phantom Beast, and we're going to be going Chainlink 1 Baphomet, revive back the Mirror Swords Knight, Chainlink 2 Gazelle to search an illusion monster, and Chainlink 3 Chimera to rip a card from our opponent's hand at random during the end phase. The Gazelle will be searching the Cornfield Coatl, I think that's the name, yes sir, and we're going to be reviving back, like I said, the Mirror Swords Knight, and graveyard effect of the Chimera Fusion to recycle it back once per turn, but we can fuse right away if we wanted to, because the fuse effect is not once per turn, and we're going to be discarding the Coatl to search pretty much any monster. I mean, it could be like the Mirror Swords Knight or the Baphomet or Gazelle, doesn't matter too much. And again, we have 2 cards in our hand, and this is all just with 1 cardboard. We're far from done yet. So on our opponent's turn, look at the amount of interruptions that we can get access to. On your opponent's draw phase, you can go like Mirror Swords Knight, Tribute, and then summon the Baphomet, and then get, again, double searches, so you're never running out of gas. And you can actually search for King Tiger Wangu, which is potentially an interruption, depends on what you play against. Obviously, against Kashtira, it's really bad. But against decks like Sprite, it's insane. All their monsters have low attack. Even Flunderies, they get destroyed by this card. Anyways, my opponent goes normal summon a monster, use the effect. I can negate with Mirror Swords Knight because when an opponent's monster on the field activates this effect, you can banish it either from the field or grave to negate that effect very specifically. It's actually really good. So this is interruption number 2 because interruption number 1 was the hand rip with Chimera. And we still have, again, more interruptions because we can go Chimera Fusion, get rid of the King Tiger Wangu to get in the grave, and then summon Guardian Chimera, which can draw and pop cards. So interruption number 3. And interruption number 4 is going to be the Chimera Grave effect, banish it, and then revive back a Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monster from the grave. So just like that, 1 single card gets you 4 interruptions, and again, a lot of card advantage in your hand, a lot of recursion as well, and we can pretty much OTK right away because we could go into like Cross Sheep and then summon something, and then revive back a monster with Cross Sheep, and then link climb into Boral Sword or Access Code, and kill from there. Absolutely filthy, and that's it for combo number 1. Let's get right into combo number 2 now. Alrighty, so 1 single branded fusion or branded opening, but not a Luber, can get you a lot of interruptions, like 7 or something, which is stupid. Now, the reason why a Luber is not a 1-card combo is because, unfortunately, you would have to use up your normal summon on the Luber, and you can't do that. You have to use your normal summon on the Chimera cards. But yeah, anyways, on the draw phase, you can go branded opening, or if you had branded fusion, whatever, it's pretty much the exact same thing, except that you're not discarding a card, but the branded opening has an interesting interaction that I have to showcase. Anyways, the Aluber is searching the branded fusion. Obviously, you don't need anything else, only a couple of cards to discard. Now, we're going to be going branded fusion to send the Fallen of Albaz as well as Gazelle. And when the Gazelle is sent to the graveyard, not necessarily from the field or hand to the graveyard, but sent to the graveyard as a fusion material, you can search your deck for an illusion monster, which is really nice, so we can get the Cornfield Coatl, which discards itself to search the Lone Fire Blossom. And of course, this is the 1-card combo. So you can special summon the Baphomet, which gets you the Chimera Fusion, as well as what? Spriggan's Kit! Not bad, huh? because now you can special summon it since you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen Valbaz, or if it was in your graveyard. And upon summon, it's pretty much like a Luber, but a little more neggy because you have to place a card from the hand on the bottom of the deck on the resolution. So we're going to be searching, obviously not for Branded Fusion, but for Branded in White, which is kind of like an overload fusion for this deck. And we're going to be going Chimera Fusion now, and fuse away, well, your two monsters, well, the Spriggan Skit as well as the Big Winged Baphomet for the Chimera King of Phantom Beast. And we're going to be reviving back the Mirror Swords Knight and discarding a card with our opponent, from our opponent's hand during the end phase with the effect of the Chimera. And now go for Branded in White. And we're going to be banishing the Spriggan Skit as well as the Fallen of Albaz from the grave to summon the Lubellion, and then discard a card, shuffle, and summon the Mirror Jade. And now we're going to be trying to banish a card on the field with the Mirror Jade by sending the Titanic Lad, but Rinbrum can actually negate ourselves, which is actually insane because, first of all, we don't have to banish one of our own cards, but on top of that, the effect of the Mirror Jade will not be... Basically, we're going to be able to use it again next turn. So this is a way to get, like, a free card in the graveyard without having to, like, lose anything. And with the Rinbrum, when you're negating something, you can also bounce back any monster on the field to the hand. So we can bounce back our own Aluber, which wouldn't have done anything on the field anyways, get it back to the hand, so we have a follow-up play for next turn. And then we set the Chimera Fusion and pass turn, and this is going to be a lot of interruptions. And again, on the end phase, we can go Titanic Lad, summon the Guiding Quem, and send Fallen of Albaz. This is also going to lead to a potential interruption, because when you have the Rinbrum in the grave, you can banish it and then revive back Fallen of Albaz from the grave. And then the Fallen of Albaz can fuse into quite a lot of monsters. So either the Mirror Jade again, if our opponent clears our Mirror Jade, because we can only control one Mirror Jade, or we can fuse for like the Sprint Dash, the Iron Dash, something, Sprint, the Iron Dash Dragon, which I think only needs like an effect monster that was special summoned this turn. Something like that, but it's really easy to get your hands on the fusion monsters that you can summon with this card. Anyways, Mirror Swords Knight is going to be summoning the Gazelle, and then search whatever, doesn't matter too much. Branded opening, summon Aluber, I can negate that because the Mirror Swords Knight is in my field or grave, so yeah, bye-bye. And then Chimera Fusion, Mirror Jade can banish a monster, so yeah, the interruption number 3 or 4. We also have like a negate with the Rinbrum, a double banish with the Mirror Jade, a pop with the Guardian Chimera. The Guiding Quem is making back, well, reviving back the Mirror Jade. And you're also going to have the Chimera, the King of Phantom Beast in the grave, so you can banish it and then revive back another monster. So again, you have like so many things to do, it's honestly just really disgusting. And just to prove to you guys that this is not like a one-trick pony that has to rely on Branded Fusion always resolving, look at this. So my opponent has a really good hand, you know, Unicorn, Ash, Field Spell, Nibiru, and Theosis. And I'm going to be winning through all of that. So Branded Fusion, that's going to be met by Ash. It's not the end of the world because if there is one build of Branded that can consistently play around or through Ash, it's going to be this deck. Now we're going to go Patchwork to search for your 2 cards. You have a lot of extenders in this deck. Anyways, Albion, the Shrouded Dragon, draw 1 card. Going to be a second Big Wing Baphomet. Not too great, huh? It would have been nice if I drew like Cornfield Coatl or something. But when life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. So I'm gonna be going Polymerization, fuse 2 for the Garura. And I'm going to be going to get Ejim Chain in the graveyard, so I can search for a Patchwork, which doesn't really matter too much, but it's going to be a discard fodder if anything. And then Tribute Summon for Baphomet. This is pretty much what Yu-Gi-Oh would have done in the anime, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle City or something. Absolutely wild. Can't believe we're unironically tribute summoning Baphomet to play around hand traps. By the way, this is only summon number 2, so Nibiru is not going to be doing too much right now. Anyways, go Chilling 1, Chilling 2, so I can search and draw. So I'm already back to 5 cards in hand. Well, I mean, not for long, but still. Chilling 1, Chilling 2, so search an illusion monster and summon the Chimera. Never mind, actually, I am back to 5 cards in hand. And this is summon number 3, so now I'm going to be going Cornfield Coatl to search. And Branded in White, I'm gonna skip the bullshit. There's no reason to go into Lubellion. Summon number 4 is going to be Mirror Jade, so that Nibiru is absolutely pointless. End phase, you discard a card. You got a useless Nibiru in your hand, and I have a couple of interruptions, actually. So even if my opponent has a really nasty hand, it's not gonna be enough because I have an unused Mirror Jade, so the first summon is going to be getting banished. You know, bye-bye unicorn. And then summon another unicorn? Hell nah, bruh. I'm gonna be making Guardian Chimera, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. Even if you had the Ash for the Guardian Chimera, I'm chain blocking anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I'm going to be destroying that unicorn and drawing 2 cards and reviving back the Baphomet on the end phase. Search 2 cards, I have 6 cards, and I'm drawing to a 7th card in my hand. I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it. I'm too rich. Anyways, that's it for the combos. Now let's get right into the deck profile. Alright. Anyways, before we proceed into this deck list and the explanation, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. I really need 1,000 likes. If you guys want me to keep making these videos, you know, those 2-in-1 package deals where I cover the combos and the deck profile. Anyways, 44 card deck list because you know, branded builds are some of the only decks in the entire game that can kind of get away with that, because you have so many one-card starters that the issue is like to drown the bricks and stuff like that, and play the cards that allow you to win going second as well, because in a 40-card deck list, you're still gonna have, you know, some nice cards in your deck, but you're not gonna have like your board breakers, or you will have your board breakers, but not enough extenders. So this is the perfect way to balance it out, at least in my opinion. If you have any feedback on how to make this deck list better, please let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, I am playing one Albion the Shrouded Dragon. It's a good card. There's pretty much no drawback with this card. You can send either Branded Opening or Fallen of Albaz, and it usually does some nice things. And you can also send a Branded in White, but whatever. The Graveyard effect isn't even gonna come up that often. Anyways, one Ad Libitum as well as one Tragedy, because sometimes you do have to play like... You have to play this deck as a Despia deck, unfortunately, and not really as an Illusion Chimera deck. So you have to be ready for the worst case scenario, and you could actually fit in a Branded in red in the main deck if you want these cards to make more sense. You can definitely do that, but then you really have to play Albion the Branded Dragon in your extra deck, so you could replace the Alba Lunatis with it. The reason why I'm playing Alba Lunatis is because Fallen of Albaz could turn into like a Chimera Tech monster, and obviously to a Lobur, because it is going to be the worst normal summon that you will have to commit to most of the time, because it's not really a one-card combo. So you're not even trying to draw a Loober, you're trying to draw Branded Fusion and Branded Opening instead. But you do have a lot of other really good one-card starters, so Mirror Swords Knight as well as a Cornfield Coatl. So they're the exact same, because Cornfield is always searching Mirror Swords Knight anyways, so it's pretty much 6 really good cards. And even Gazelle is decent, but it's not like insane. But if you get some of your cards negated and you hard draw Gazelle, and you're fusing away some of your stuff, it translates to being the same, so it's all good. And yeah, 2 Fallen of Albaz, this is not like pure Despia, so 3 is overkill. Again, not a card that you're really trying to draw, and we're also not playing Fusion Deployment with a Blazing Cartesia and stuff, because that would be a weird deck list. You would be going into Grand Guignol, which is a completely different line of play. I don't know if I really recommend it in this build. I think this is maybe the most correct version for Branded Chimera, but if you're trying to play like actual Despia, then obviously you're going to be changing a lot of things with this deck. Anyways, one Spriggan's Kit, it has an inherent synergy with this deck because it is searchable by Baphomet since it is a beast monster, and it searches Branded in White, which allows you to keep summoning even more, because you're not going to be summoning the Mirror Jade with the Branded Fusion, you're going to be summoning the Rinbrum, and then the Mirror Jade is going to come out of that Branded in White, and then again you get some recursion. And since this is a beast, again, not only is it searchable, but also it's used as a fusion material to go into this this monster, which is Chimera, the King of Phantom Beast. So yeah, and then one Guiding Quem, it's also a brick. You're not trying to draw this card, you're only trying to summon it on the end phase with the Titanic Lad. That's it, that's all, and it gets you back a Mirror Jade, so it's kind of like a Branded in red with Ad Libitum combo, because you're reviving back a monster, and that's what Ad Libitum does. So yeah, so it's a good card. And also sending a Fallen of Albaz from the deck to the grave is relevant because of the graveyard effect of the Rinbrum, allowing you to banish it and then revive back the Fallen of Albaz. And then you can keep looping this card anyways with the Lubellion, so it being a one-of is not really relevant. You're fine with only one copy of this card. Anyways, like I said, 3 Gazelle, the Fright for Package, 2 Edgem Chain, 2 Fright for Patchwork, and 2 Poly. Gets you just more gas going second, but that's a lot of cards that Fusion summon, because we're also playing 2 Chimera Fusion and 3 Super Poly. So if you want to cut the Fright for Engine, you can do that in order to play maybe like more starters, more extenders, more board breakers. And if you want to, you can actually cut it to 40 by cutting these 6 cards and then, I don't know, adding 2 cards. It's really up to you. But yeah, that's it for the monsters. So 22 monsters as well as 19 spells and 3 traps. So yeah, 2 Polymerization and then 2 Patchwork, 1 Branded in White, 3 Branded Fusion, no shit, 3 Book of Moon. You really need ways to beat Purely and Kashira going second. And Book of Moon is kind of like that one card that covers both grounds, so I really like this card. And Infinite Impermanence, unlike Valor, it can actually be used against monsters that are summoned on the draw phase and standby. So purely, for example, they have a easier time playing around Valor than Imperm, so that's the reason why this card is here. You can top deck Imperm for turn and use it against the Rise Art, whereas you can't do that with Valor. And Ash is not great against Kashtira and Purely, so I think that these 6 cards are just the safest ones to play. And again, they do not turn on Triple Tactic Talents and Thrust. So yeah, very, very good cards, honestly. I really like these cards, at least in this deck, because they take care of your biggest flaw. Now, Branded Opening, obviously, Super Polymerization. Very similar idea for this, but I mean, this deck can just inherently play Super Poly really well because you have 15 fusions in your extra deck. And if you are in a mirror match, at least you're going to be well equipped here. And again, it's good against pretty much every single combo deck out there in general, but nothing forces you to play this. If you want to play more hand traps instead, you are welcome to do so. And finally, 2 Chimera Fusion, because you really have no reason to play 3. It's so easy to search, and it actually becomes really bricky when you play 3, if anything. So I actually think 2 is the perfect number for this, because if you only play 1 and it gets like DD Code or something, or Cosmic Cyclone when you use it, you have no more recursion and your grind game becomes absolute piss. Anyways, for the extra deck, I'm playing 2 Guardian Chimera. Obviously, the first one can be summoned on your own turn with a Polymerization, and then the second one can be summoned on your opponent's turn with a Chimera Fusion. And you always need like another one for the grind game anyway, so 2 is fine. And then 1 Chimera the Illusion Beast, so a lot of Chimera monsters. This card is kind of like I don't know, it's hard to explain. Not really like the number 2, is it? Shit, I forgot the name. Whatever, the rank 2 monster that Sprite used to play. Well, I mean, they're still playing it to OTK their opponents. Yeah, it's kind of similar to that, but it's kind of like a Conductor Tyranno in a way. Like, you're attacking all of your monsters, all your opponent's monsters, and then they always become like 0 attack, and you're negating the effect. So yeah, you can definitely do a lot of nasty things with this card, but are you really going into this card every single time? Probably not, but it's a good card to allow you to keep surviving, because you can revive it back with the Graveyard effect of Chimera, the King of Phantom Beast. So if you can Fusion Summon it properly one time, you always have like a really annoying to out boss monster that you can consistently revive. And it is also always treated as Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast on the field and grave, which turns on the negation effect of Mirror Swords Knight, and also allows you to recycle back the Chimera Fusion. So a lot of reasons to play this card. And it's also pretty easy to summon. You only need Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, so this card, because it's also always treated as Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast on the field and grave, as well as 1+ illusion monsters, so it could be multiples if you want this card to attack a bunch of times. And then 2 Mirror Jade, of course, for the grind game, 1 Dragos Tapelia, Super Poly target, and you can summon it. Blue Ballion, Albalonatis, because it's good against Dragon Link. You can Contact Fuse if you draw Fallen of Albaz. You just set it, and then the Hieratic Seal cannot bounce back set cards. And then you Contact Fuse with everything and you break the board. And then we're playing Sprint, the Iron Dash Dragon. This is when you revive back Fallen of Albaz on your opponent's turn. All you need is Fallen of Albaz and 1+ effect monster special summon this turn. Really good at breaking your, interrupting your opponent. Titanic Lad, which is pretty much the same, but you're usually sending this card to the grave with the Mirror Jade, and then you're summoning the Guiding Quem on the end phase. 1 Rinbrum, this card's insane in the combo. You really need it. It's how Branded Fusion is going to be sending the Gazelle, so that you can search for the Cornfield into the Mirror Swords Knight. And by the way, Cornfield also has a Graveyard effect if you control Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, aka any of the 2 fusion monsters, that whenever your opponent targets a card you control, you can negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card. So yeah, Imperm and stuff like that against you might not be good enough, and Book of Moon is not going to be doing anything when you have like a already established board. Anyways, speaking of which, 2 Chimera the King of Phantom Beast, 1 Garura, and 1 Mud Dragon, again for the Super Poly targets. So yeah, 44 cards in the main deck again, 15 cards in the extra deck, and for the DS section, if you want to play some Bestial cards, you can do that with Branded and Lost, or Etude of the Branded, so you can Synchro Summon for Despian Lulu Walilith on your opponent's turn. You don't really have to do that though. King Tiger Wangu, if you really want to, could be in the side deck. It's really easy to search, so why not? Blazing Cartesia with the fusion deployment and stuff like that. Into Grand Guignol, I don't recommend it again. Tri-Brigade Mercurier with the Branded Lost. It's kind of like win more because they don't do anything on their own. So if you draw them and you break, you're screwed. Ash, Dragon Knight Draco Equist because of Super Poly. If your opponent is playing like a Manadium and has Baron de Fleur as well as, what is it gonna be? Crimson Dragon. You sing them both on the draw phase with turn player priority. and then your opponent cannot hit you with Hard Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. So this card is kind of like a must against them, but it depends on how the metagame shapes up. If nobody plays the deck, you don't really have to consider Dragon Knight Draco Equist. Anyways, Albion the Branded Dragon, again, could be used as a replacement for Alban Landnatis if Dragon Link is not really an issue. Fusion Deployment again, Triple Tactic Talents and Thrust, branded in red, and I already kind of explained these cards, or they're really self-explanatory. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.